Hello and welcome back to the Lumin Weekly Q&A. Here we are, back on the couch. Sadly, the whole webcam thing just isn't working at the moment. I did, however, get a bit of help from Dopefish. You may know him from the YouTube channel Dopefish Lives. He's amazing, absolutely amazing, and he sort of pinpointed what the issue is. And I'm quite sure he's right. It's something to do with my USB ports. They aren't transferring or receiving or anything the data fast enough, and because of that the HD resolutions just aren't working on the webcam, and that's probably because my motherboard is terrible. I've actually been, and it sort of clicked when I thought about it, because I've actually been having problems with my mic where the sound levels fluctuate a lot, and that's why some of my videos, and I think even some of my Guild Wars videos that are going to be coming out over the next couple of days, have a bit of pop in, because I had to put the mic a lot closer because I couldn't get the sound volume loud enough, and it's frustrating. But for now, this will have to do, because it's actually not so much about having it in glorious HD or anything like that. It's more just about the questions and the answers to said questions. So for now, that's all I'm going to tell you. But there were two more things I had to talk about before we actually started the questions. The first one was King of the Web and the Amnesia playthrough. You must stop vibrating, phone. That's not silly. I'm going to do the Amnesia playthrough soon. It's going to come up soon after the King of the Web thing finishes, which is just in the next couple of days. But it will be coming soon. Don't even worry about it. You guys will see it, and hopefully it's going to be fun. I don't know if fun is the right word, but it's going to be an experience. Then, the other thing is... Oh, and I'm wearing a scarf, because if I don't wear the scarf, then I blend into the couch. It's like I don't have shoulders, I'm like a neck. A couch with a neck. If I go down a little bit more, there you go. It's not cool. It's actually not cool. So I'm wearing a scarf to just counteract that a little bit. And it's cold. So it's a win-win for me. Not so much for you, because this is not the best scarf in the world. It's okay. Nothing wrong with it. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about was Guild Wars 2, the whole guild thing, and forums. And that, okay? So... Firstly, we're going to have the guild up at launch. I'm not 100% sure it's going to be Illuminati. I think it will be. I don't see a reason in changing the name. I think it's a cool name. It's adventurous enough. It does have something Lumin in it. And that's not because I'm like obsessed with myself. It's just so that people can recognize it. Okay? If you guys have better suggestions, any suggestions actually, please feel free to leave them as comments. I'm always interested. Always interested, and if we can improve on it, great. If not, we keep it the same, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Then the forum thing, we are going to, in the next week or so, or over the next week or so, we're going to be testing some forums. And now, the reason the forums are going to be, that we want them to be very simple. We don't want it to be like some sort of high-tech, super fancy forum contraption where you can do absolutely everything, because we don't need that. We want it to be a place where guild members can communicate with each other, organize stuff, but we want it to be easy to use as well. So those things, because of that, I decided to just I'm using a WordPress plugin for the forums, and it works very well. And you'll see it. Soon enough, you'll see it, but for now we're gonna let a couple of people test it out, maybe post a few times, just basically see if it's working okay. And after that, I'll announce it and give a link and everything on the channel in a video, and everyone will just be allowed to go there. Hopefully things will be fine. I'm not like Total Biscuit where if I tweet or link something, the site crashes. Not at that point, so that's fine. We did work a bit on it, and it is looking okay. I'm happy with it. There's a bit more stuff that needs to be done, and the actual website needs to be fixed up a bit as well. But that's the kind of stuff we want to get done before Guild Wars launches, probably at least 2 weeks before it comes out. So we've got around a month's time, but that means in the next 2 weeks we need to be done. So anyway, just look out for that. But just if you want to know more about the forums and stuff, or if you want to help look at it or test it or whatever, then just over the next week or so you can be in the Tales of Lumin IRC channel, which is linked below. You can find it there. But I'm just going to speak to a couple of people there and get them to help us with that. And the reason I choose them right now is because they're there and it's easy to chat to them. Anyone in the channel, it's just easy to communicate, and they can instantly tell me if they see, well, this doesn't work so well or that doesn't work so well, and that's why. But now, on to the questions. They're right here on my phone. And now if I move the phone nice and close, the camera doesn't lose focus and then do this funny blurry thing like the webcam. No, it works. It works just fine. The old-fashioned way works too. So, first question is from SciSci751. What is that map behind you? It looks like the world in Avatar. That's funny. That's funny because I don't actually know what the world in Avatar looks like. If you mean from Avatar The Last Airbender, then I think they show the map at the start of the series, Legend of Korra, now the new series. I think they show the map there, and the colors are very similar. But the map that you see in most of my videos at the back when I'm using the webcam is Skyrim. It's a nice Skyrim map. Speaking of maps, I've got the Britannia one as well, which is the colorful one, and I want to get myself a Ultima Forever map, which is the same Britannia map, just not the same map, it's a different version of the Britannia map, which would be cool. Anyway, what's that music playing at 3420? Kind of reminds me of Sands of Destruction, but I could be horribly off. So for the most videos that I've been using, I either use Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VII, and I think in the previous Q&A I used Final Fantasy VII, and I think the song that you were listening to was specifically the fight scene, the fight music. When you enter a fight, the battle music that comes up, that was it. Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, amazing. One of the best Final Fantasy soundtracks. Final Fantasy VIII has a cool soundtrack, really good. Final Fantasy X has an amazing soundtrack. 13 has a pretty decent one as well. Anyway, they're all actually pretty good. All good. Definitely pick them up if you can. What accent is this? I love it! Thank you. Oh, the previous question was from magickage? Magickage? I don't know. Anyway, next question is from pecololek. Pecololek. That's a difficult nickname, but it's fun. I like it. That's like a party in a word. Pecololek. Wow. This is a South African accent, but I wouldn't say it's standard South African. It's some variation of some sort of South African accent. There you go. Straight up. Can Helene answer one question for us in the next weekly? Now, this is from Killistic1, and he actually said after this, it can be written, she can come in front of the camera, she can, in any way. So the answer to that is yes. If you have a question specifically for Helene that you want her own words as an answer for, leave it. But be sure to specify that it's for her. Else I'll go and answer it, because I'll answer anything that you guys give me. Might not be correct, but I'll give an answer. Next. Anyways. This is from Mordred. He actually said anyways, but I'll get to that in a second. Mordred P777. Anyways, my question would be this. Did you hear about the possibility of Final Fantasy VII coming to Steam? Would you make a Let's Play of this if it happens? So, Final Fantasy's actually been playable on PC for a long time. Mostly via emulators, and there was a PC release. Few people know this, but I can't remember if I even still have the originals, but I had the originals at some point. I've also got Final Fantasy VIII on PC, and the only thing is it obviously doesn't work on newer systems. It's made for a really old system, but it did release on PC before, and it is possible to Let's Play it already, regardless of it being on Steam or not. Sure, the Steam version might be improved, but anyway, that's not what the question is. I don't think Final Fantasy is good Let's Play material. If I had to be perfectly honest, although I might enjoy playing it, although I might enjoy doing a Let's Play of it, I feel that Final Fantasy is the kind of game that'll just take way too many hours to get through, and not only that's not the only reason I think it's not a good Let's Play game. I think that it's the kind of game where you make your own experience, and it takes sometimes very long to get somewhere, and sometimes it does take a lot of tries to get something right. You know, it just, to me, doesn't feel like a really good Let's Play game, and right now I don't really have space for more playthroughs. I'm gonna try finish Grimrock and Mass Effect. Skyrim's just gonna take long. Let's face it. I was actually discussing this with a few people before, and I was thinking of finishing Skyrim at its 1-year birthday, but like at the series, like it would be a year after it started, which is a long time. I started my Skyrim playthrough when it released, which is nearly a year ago. But that means I'd have to actually like power through the main story, which I'm currently doing. But when Lumin powers through something, it may be powerful, it may be an epic experience, but it doesn't go quickly. So maybe I need to reevaluate my use of the term powering through something. I don't know, okay? But I need to get those series done sometime. Grimrock and Mass Effect, they're pretty straight lines. Getting to the end of them, slowly but surely. Grimrock a bit faster than Mass Effect, but I'm enjoying my time with them immensely. Same thing for Skyrim, but Skyrim is just, wow. It'll take so long to finish, but I would have liked to have finished it sometime close to the 1 year anniversary. Just because I'd like to start something new up. And this is something I discuss a lot and I mention a lot and stuff, but I feel that doing a Let's Play for that long could be cool because you've got this whole history with the game, but at the same time, I could make history with a new game. I could start a new story somewhere in a different game. And it'll just keep things a little bit more fresh. Maybe I'll start something that's more Let's Play friendly. I feel as if Skyrim's a really great game for Let's Play, but I didn't realize what I was getting myself into when I started it. I'm still enjoying every second of it though. It's amazing. Anyway, I think I sort of went on a tangent again, and I apologize. Now, Killerstick actually sent a couple of jokes. My WoW jokes. Why didn't the undead cross the road? Because he didn't have the guts. Oh, why did? Yeah, why he did? Because he didn't have the guts. Oh wait, there's some typos here. I'm sorry, Killerstick, but I'm gonna have to fix these for you. I don't want to send them out in this form. So, why didn't the undead cross the road? Because he didn't have the guts to play Holy Paladin. I don't quite understand that one, but the rest of them, there are some really funny ones here. I looked at these and I was laughing at them. Now this one is one of those little lists, those little goblin lists that you see with the question marks and profit. Keybind flash of light to every key. Face roll, this is 1, and then 2, face roll across the keyboard, and then 3 question marks, and then 4 profit. Brilliant. That's how paladins play anyway. It's true. It's true. It is actually. You just gotta make sure that you got like sticky targeting on so you don't deselect your target, and that's done, and you're a holy paladin. But here, how many gnomes does it take to paint a wall? It depends on how hard you throw them. That must be a Tauren joke right there. Then, how many... This is amazing. This one is... How many DPS does it take to kill a resto druid? Don't know, but we'll get him one of these days. I can't believe that. And the sad thing is, and I'm saying sad here, completely sincerely, is that this is 100% true. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's changed, but back when we played Arena, there's 2 of us in this room, we used to Arena together and we sucked. We were terrible. But hey, she says we weren't. We were amazing. We were the best team to bless the arenas of Azeroth. That's better. Okay, so, she played Shadow Priest and I played all sorts of classes. I had like some sort of disease where I had to keep re-rolling. It was bad. I will admit that I'm really bad at that kind of thing. I don't know what to say. So, we sucked. And we could never kill the Resto Druids. I actually played Resto Druid for a while because I was like, wait a second, that's unfair. So I made one. And we didn't really own as much as they did, but Resto Druids never die in World of Warcraft Arena. That's how it was back in Burning Crusade. I'm not sure if it's like that now, but that painful experience. So this joke hits home. What do you call a gnome mage? A mini bar. No, that's just silly, but it's amazing. It is true again. It's funny because it's true. I don't know if it's true anymore, actually, now that all classes can, like, I don't know if it's true anymore. But for those that don't play WoW, the mages can make these refreshment tables, and that was, like, the main reason to bring a mage to a raid. Not because of DPS, not because they have good utility. They bring the refreshments. Then the next one, dwarf joke. I don't drink any more, of course. I don't drink any less either. Oh wait, I said that wrong. I don't drink any more. Of course I don't drink any less either. There you go. That's good. That is typical dwarf right there. So, those are from Killerstick 1. Thank you very much for the jokes. Tell me which one was your favorite. The Resto Druid one to me was it was ridiculous. Then, YYK, I hope this isn't too late, since you you said that the Q&A would be up on Sunday. It's actually only going to be up on Monday, sadly. But, where's it? What was your favorite game you have recorded and made a playthrough of? Would you mind making a poll on Facebook, which asks which game the viewers like most, and take the 2 to 3 top ones and record them more? Well, that doesn't make sense. It's a cool idea. I mean, I like the idea of choosing which are the favorites, myself and the community choosing as well, basically all of you guys, or anyone that's ever watched the playthroughs, but there's a problem in that. This is water. The problem is that it's not really possible to do more of something like Beyond Good and Evil, of Portal, of Rage, of single player games. Basically, I can't really do more of them. So if people said, well, Terraria was their favorite, or Minecraft was their favorite, or anything else like that that doesn't really end, then fine, I can do more of that. But it's not a very good way of doing it. As for my favorite playthrough, I don't know. Look, I can look at it from 2 points of views. If I had to say what would be the best one to watch, I would say, just from the 3 episodes that I've done of DayZ, quality-wise, those have been the best that I've done, because of the editing and stuff. If I had to say, from like an immersion point of view, then I'd say Legend of Grimrock would be absolutely amazing to start watching. Because the way I set it up, I didn't have the whole hello and welcome to, I kept them flowing, and that game is just so intense at times. So I'd have a couple of favorites. It would be difficult for me. You can't ask me to choose. But like I said, I'd be able to choose a favorite for every different type. But the idea is cool. Anyway, next question. Killer Stick again. Swen, can you please... Well, it wasn't actually that long, but there were a lot of Zs in there. Okay, a lot of Zs. Do a playthrough of Path of Exile again. And I would love to see the Shadow class. Let me know which classes you'd like to see. If I do start another playthrough, I will start from the beginning. I don't know how I'd do it. I don't know if I'd perhaps upload like an edited version of it, highlights, or if I'd upload a full playthrough, because Path of Exile, once again, is an amazing game to play. It's got a good feel about it. But at the same time, I feel as if Path of Exile also doesn't have that much to do commentary of. My Path of Exile playthrough that I've done, the part that I did thus far was good, but if I had to do it again, then the commentary would be much the same. Slightly improved maybe, because it was a while ago, and I've got a new mic, but the main thing is that there isn't really very much randomization in the game. Sure, the levels are different every time and all that, but the whole game, everything you do for every area is exactly the same. So I have to think about how I'm going to do it, but the chances are I will have Path of Exile in some capacity back on the channel soon. So, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly when, but soon. Because there's a lot of cool stuff that's happened. Next. Lumin, I was just thinking that you're an incredibly mellow person. Have you ever rage quit a game? If so, what game was it? This is from Zidana123. I've probably rage quit, I said this to Helene earlier, I probably rage quit Counter-Strike before. Because that game is ridiculous at times. It's actually ridiculous. You know how people can run around the corner and they're looking in the opposite direction, then they headshot you on that side? What? I don't get it, okay? But I used to play a lot of Counter, but that was a long time ago. I haven't played Counter-Strike in ages. And I mean like ages, like 6, 7, I don't even know how many years. Long time. It's been a long time since I played Counter-Strike. But other games... Games like Dota and Heroes of New Earth and that stuff, I don't rage quit those. You know, even if I don't do very well and I feel like, oh, this game isn't fun because I'm getting owned, or this game isn't fun because we're busy owning them too hard, then I just lose the motivation, but I still play. It's like you're playing might stop having fun, but I'll still play it. I don't think I've ever been to the point where I want to like rage quit. As I said, the closest would have been with Counter-Strike. Games like Super Meat Boy, which is like supposed to be rage quit central, no. What happens there is that I get to this point and I'm like throwing myself at this spinny sawmill blade cutter wheel, and I'm splatting against it, splatting against it, splatting against it, and then I'm like just wanting to get over there more and more and more. It doesn't end up freaking me out in a rage quit kind of way. It's like, I have to get over there, I have to get over there, and then I just won't quit till I get over there. Because that game, that's what it does to you. That is exactly what it does to you. But no, yeah, as you say, it's not the kind of thing I really do. I don't feel as if I get irritated enough to do that kind of thing. And added to that, I don't play that. Actually, no, I'm not going to say this now because I think there's another question that asks. Hold on. Let me just have a look at this. Where is it? I'll just say it now. Added to that, I don't really play that many games in my spare time. In my spare time, I edit videos. In my spare time, I record stuff, so it's not really spare time. It actually turns into work time. Or every now and then we watch like a movie or something. That's about it. So I don't really have the time to rage either. So it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Next. Are you Scandinavian? Since your name is Sven and Sven and it sounds very Swedish. No, it's not Swedish, it's Swedish. This is from Flying Just to Fall 1. One of my favorite nicknames. Funny. There's a guy who does beatboxing on YouTube. It's an Asian guy called Paul Ji Sung or Paul something or other. I'm sure his single was called Flying Just to Fall. Or Running... Anyway. Anyway, if you know what his name is, you can feel free to let me know, because I've forgotten. I'm still subscribed to him, but I just don't watch his videos that often anymore. He makes amazing stuff. Then, where did the phrase Sweet Juniper Lee originate? Adventures of Lapis. Lapis. Why is she looking at me? Ah, she looked at me. What? I don't know. I think I might have said something wrong. Or I didn't say something. Where did the phrase Sweet Juniper Lee originate? I read that right. I don't know. I don't know what that look was. I don't know where it originated, actually. I was discussing it with her, maybe that's why she looked at me. And I was thinking to myself, where did I pick this up? And I can't even remember the first time I said it. But Juniper Lee, if you didn't know, is a cartoon. I think she's on Cartoon Network. The Life and Times of Juniper Lee. I think that's what it's called. She's amazing. The cartoon's pretty good as well. And where did it come from? I don't know. It just came out. I wanted to express myself and Juniper Lee was the only way I could do it. Is that sad? I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad. But that's my answer. From Mo Sharif. Hey Lumin. I just have one question. What do you think of Diablo 3 milking away the game by giving the game many difficulty levels, and what do you think of the story itself? Good question. So, difficulty levels have always been there. That is just a way for them to not have to design a game that's 5 times bigger and take 5 years longer to do it. As for if I like it or not, I think it's okay. I think that, sure, it would have been more fun if there was more variety, if it changed more from level to level, from normal to nightmare, from nightmare to hell, from hell to inferno, but at the same time, I think that's, you know, kind of what you go into the game expecting. And honestly, you play from start of normal to the end of normal, and you maybe do it with a friend or two, and you enjoy it, that's your money's worth out of the game, if you ask me. That's it. Because, moving into the next part of this question, I feel as if the story was worth it. I do think there were some loopholes in the story, and I do think that the storytelling wasn't that good, but you did ask here what I think of the story, and I think that the story was fun. It was a good story. I think that they just told it in a silly way at points. They made everything way too obvious. They don't need to babysit me through the story of a game. I like having to look for things. I like having to discover things for myself. I like having to get to a point in a game and saying to myself, what? That's it? That is it? I get it now. But there's never that point in Diablo. There's never that. Because it's always, oh, you've found me. Now I've got you here, and my minions are busy taking Deckard Cain away. You will never see your uncle again because they are taking him to Wormsworth. What's the town's name? Wortham. They are taking him to Wortham. Oh, they weren't doing that. But that's exactly how the dialogue is set up. And that is so silly because nowhere would you find a villain that would be that stupid. Why would a villain say that? That is so silly. And I will call Magda silly because she was silly. But I feel as if the storytelling lacked a bit, the way they gave it to the player, but the story itself was cool. That was good. All of it. I enjoyed it immensely. Now, especially the whole Tyrael thing. That was a golden angle that they played there. So, I hope that answers your question. Next. This is a long one. My goodness. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, I just forgot to split these. Hello there, Lumin. Greetings from America. First time questioner. Enjoying the Mass Effect playthrough? Grand. I'm enjoying the Mass Effect playthrough as well, immensely. Especially now that I've encountered the Quarians and I'm busy doing their missions, because I have some sort of obsession that I can't explain with Tali, and I've been picking up some amazing weapons, and I'm just enjoying it. It's an all-round fun game to play. Epic storyline as well. So, was wondering if you ever you've ever given thought to doing a playthrough of Dragon Age. This is from Hold'em Boy 511. I've actually played and finished Did I finish it? I played Dragon Age 1. I can't say with surety that I've finished it, but honestly, again, it's the kind of thing that I feel that Dragon Age 1 was okay. It was a good game. Well, not okay. It was actually really good. Dragon Age 1 was really good. It sort of filled that little empty space that Baldur's Gate left in my heart for a little while, when I stopped playing Baldur's Gate 2 or 1 or the expansions. But because I played it, it wouldn't really be that fun to do another Let's Play of it, or another playthrough of it. And another reason is it's an older game, so the chances are many people won't watch it. As for Dragon Age 2, I don't like Dragon Age 2 at all. I felt like the game just wasn't as good as Dragon Age 1, and that's kind of sad. So the chances are slim that I'll do something like that. If it's an older game, it's probably going to be a much older game. A retro game. Something that's different, something that a lot of people aren't doing, but that still remains fun. Next. You mentioned that you're a big fan of R.A. Salvatore. Which book of his is your favorite and why? I'm going to start with that because there are parts to this question. Oh, I thought I missed the name of this person. This is from Edgar Polanus. Now, I liked, instead of one book, I'm going to give you 3. I liked the entire Sellsword series. I loved the entire Sellsword series. And it's funny because it didn't really have very much Drizzt in it. You know, his main characters weren't in there, but one of them was. So, Sellsword series was something like Servant of the Shard, something of the Witch, and Road to the Patriarch, or was it of the Patriarch? Those 3. It was like, it's been years since I read them, and I only read them once. But those 3 were my favorite. In those 3 books, the main characters were Artemis Entreri and Jarl Axel. So it's like the human assassin and the drow. And I just feel like the personality that he managed to shove into those 2 characters was so much more than any of the other characters in his entire series. And I'm talking like 20, 30 books worth. And now you've got Drizzt and his personality and everything going on with him brooding across the span of 30 books. And I say brooding because that guy gets depth, bro. He really does. All the time. All the time. Sure, He comes out of his slump, fighting better than ever, but I feel as if he did a much better job with Artemis and Jarl Axel. Both of them. Much better job. I think I might have just started answering another... Yes, okay, here we go. I'm just going to start the next one now because it's sort of... There are a few that are related. If you would have recommended one book to someone, which book would it be? Now, there are two different answers I'd give. I'd say that series, just because I enjoyed it immensely, and you don't need to know as much about the previous books to enjoy those, but at the same time, I would also say it's well worth going back all the way to the start to read the first three books, which are Homeland, which I think the first one's Homeland, Exile and Sojourn. I think those are the three, the very first ones. And now the funny thing is, they might not be the first that were released, but they are chronologically the first. They come at the start of the timeline. They'll start telling you the story of Drizzt, okay, the Dark Elf, the Drow. And I feel that that's always a good place to start. So perhaps get that first book, try it out, or get these ones that I recommended. But those are all pretty good. I mean, all the books I enjoyed. Now, I must say that, I don't want to strangle myself here, I must say that it's a slightly more childish series compared to some others that I've read. It's fantasy, okay? And it's not dark fantasy, it's not hardcore, it's not Game of Thrones, that's for sure. It's not Malazan, Book of the Fallen. No, it's neither of those. Now those two are again different as well, because I feel as if Malazan is mind-bogglingly intricate. That is storytelling. Game of Thrones is vulgar, it's gory, also cool, but both good anyway. This one would appeal to a slightly younger audience, while at the same time the older people will enjoy it, but it can work for them because it is more PG. Anyway, the next part of that question was, what other writers do you like? There you go, I enjoy Steven Erikson a lot. Malazan, Book of the Fallen. I think that guy, he's got some serious skills. Because that's a story that... it's difficult. I'm only on the second book, nearly done with the second book, and it's destroying my mind from the inside out when I start reading that thing in a good way. If that's even possible. But you read stuff in the first book that kind of doesn't make sense, but then you get to the end of the second book, and then there's like this slight hint of something. And in the first book they did that all the time. They're dropping these little knowledge bombs, and then they also drop, at the same time, these little suspense bombs where something's about to happen, then it doesn't happen, but you remember that. In the next book, you hear about it again. And there are always these little hints, and when one story goes this way, another one is at the same time going that way, that's entirely linked, but not happening at the same time or in the same place, and then you realize that they may, in 3 or 4 books' time, meet up somewhere down the line. It's just difficult. It's difficult to wrap your head around, but it gives you a good feeling when you manage to figure something out for yourself. Anyway, they don't pamper you. They don't spoon feed the story to you. Huh! You better watch this, Blizzard. I keep every time the phone goes into sleep mode, then it scrolls somewhere randomly. Then the next one is, what was your favorite book only hero or villain? It would be a toss-up between Artemis Entreri and Jarl Axel. I feel as if I'll say Artemis Entreri because with Artemis, at the start, he was such a mysterious guy. You didn't know a thing about him, but he was intriguing. Then slowly but surely it not unraveled, it was unveiled, his story, because you started seeing more of his past. And I feel as if R.A. Salvatore did a good job with writing the character because of how he built up to it. He didn't just throw everything out there and tell you, this is him. This is everything he's about. No, it took tons of books before you even knew a tiny bit about this guy. But when you did start learning about him, it was all really interesting. And he had a really tough life. And it forged the way he is. Because of and the thing is, you think to yourself, him and Drizzt, all the way through the books, you think to yourself, these guys are so alike, but they're also so different at the same time. And because of that whole yin and yang thing, I feel as if he had the more interesting part of the little... Maybe he had the dark part, and that part was much more interesting. Anyway, I would say he's my favorite character. But Jarl Axel is just... he's a clown. That guy's a hoot. Always fun to read. I was going to say to listen to, but no, to read. Then, that's it actually. Oh, and he also sent a question about the Guild Wars 2 guild. But I can tell you right now, if you even get this far and you're interested in Guild Wars, we are probably going to allow anyone to join the guild at launch, and we're going to see how it goes. I think the guild limit's 500, but we didn't get anywhere near 500 in the beta weekend, so I'm hoping that we're going to be able to fit everyone in come launch. But everyone is welcome to join, and I get so many questions about this, and I don't reply to all of them, because I do plan on releasing a video just telling everyone about that before launch, so that everyone will know. So if you ask me again, I'm probably not going to answer you, because this is your answer and that will be your answer. So you'll know, don't worry. Then, second last question. I'm looking for a comfy chair in order to play Guild Wars. I'm looking for a comfy chair in order to play Guild Wars 2 all day long, 24 hours a day. No, not really. I wish I could though. What chair do you use to stay comfy? This is from Dennis. Shadow Shimp. Is it Shimp? At first I looked at that and I thought, huh, Shadow Shrimp. Interesting nickname. Dark seafood. But no. What chair do I use? I'm using a wooden one, and I can't, it's like a very straight, it's like straight down, straight like that, flat, hard, and I've got like a blanket over it. It's not that comfortable. It's comfortable if I can sit upright in it. I like it. I like being able to sit very upright, and I don't want any armrests. So that's the two things that I want. I want to be able to sit with straight back, and I don't want any armrests. So if I had to say, if I wanted to get a chair, I'd probably get that really expensive one that Total Biscuit has called the DX Racer or something, but the chances are I wouldn't be able to afford that. That thing looks really pricey, but it does look really good. So if you want a really good chair and you want to spend a bit of money on it, because honestly, I feel it's worth it. If you're going to be sitting in front of your PC a lot, it's probably worth it having a good chair. Not like this one back here. Unlike that one. Then search for the DX Racer. It's sort of a gaming chair. Oh! That's the last question. Is it? Really? Okay. So sadly, that's going to be it for this episode of the Lumin Weekly Q&A. And if you have any questions to leave, feel free to leave them in the comment section below this video. I'm going to, for next week, set up a new email address where you can send Q&A questions to, because they kind of get lost sometimes in my current mailbox, and they sometimes get sent to spam for some reason. I don't know, maybe your email addresses are similar to spammers' email addresses, and my email program is just too silly to realize that. But that said, if I set up a new one, I'll be able to look at the new one spam folder separately, and I'll definitely see it. I'm not sure it'll be yet, so next week I'll tell you about it, about all of that. But for now, leave it as a comment, private message it to me right here on YouTube, or mail it to me at talesoflumin@gmail.com. talesoflumin@gmail.com. Simple. Very simple. That'll work. You can ask about anything. Gaming related, you can ask Helene a question, she'll answer it in her own words. Maybe not on camera, but she'll write it down and I'll read it to you. Anything. South Africa, gaming, life and stuff, gym. Not that I'm very good at talking about gym related stuff, food, anything. But, again, that's it for this video. Check back soon for more. Most importantly though, happy leaving those questions, because I'll happily answer them. I think. Happy that.